I would have been 2, 4, 5, 6.
Welcome to State of the Save, episode 250, the anniversary episode. Michael, are you shocked that we have an episode 250 already?
I can't believe it. It feels like these just flew by. All 250 episodes. The 15-part one we did on the entire Xenoblade saga just melted me to tears.
You mean the award-winning 15-part episode where we won the awards that we totally did not just make up?
Yeah, the Webbies. Yeah,
the Webbies.
We got the Webbies. Is that still a thing?
Probably not. It was last time we recorded a podcast. No, my dear listeners. We are back. State of the Save has made its dramatic return to your podcasting networks. Somehow. We hope that you are still subscribed. We took a long break. Life happened. If this was a TV series, there would be a dramatic jump between season 4 and season 5. If I didn't already have a beard, I would have one now. Michael would be having an eye patch.
And a metal arm.
Actually. Michael does have a metal arm tat now. So Michael has a metal arm. I have a beard.
That one's not a bit.
No, Michael has a metal arm. Yeah, life has happened. And then we decided, hey, we should go back to recording podcasts because like in COVID, when we started this podcast, when life gets bad, we record podcasts. But no, we're back. I hope anyone who's a returning listener, welcome back to State of the Save. If you are a new listener, guess what? You don't need to know anything about what happened before. You can jump in today. My name is Eric. I'm with Michael. Say hi, Michael, so that people know who you are.
Hi, I'm Michael.
Okay, see, look at that. High-quality professional podcasting. No, but we are back. State of the Save is going to be a little bit different than it was before. Before we were playing games in almost like a book club format. And it was fun. We had a lot of great time. There's a lot of good episodes back there. If you want to go back and check out some of our classic episode back catalog.
The Metal Gear series is my favorite series we've done. That was just a lot of fun. A lot of good discussion there.
I agree. I think that one's like the kind of the pinnacle of our work. I also really like the specials that we did. We had E3 specials. We had holiday specials. We had all that fun stuff. It was a good time. I'm glad that that back catalog is back there where we can still push people back there, listen to our voices back when we were young and didn't have metal arms and beards and eye patches. But now that we're old, grizzled podcasting veterans, it's time to launch State of the Save 2.0. This show is going to be a little bit different. What we are going to do is Michael's going to bring a game to the table. I'm going to bring a game to the table, and we're going to say, hey, man, play this video game, and we're going to talk about it next time. So that's exciting. It's a different kind of process, but still the same vibe, and I think it's going to be really cool. Michael, you want to say anything to our returning listeners?
Hello, returning listeners. It's been a while. I tried to keep during the hiatus, I tried to keep the show going with some stuff. I brought in some guests and everything. I was running the show solo until I realized that's kind of unsustainable. So now we're back.
I also want it officially on the record that the reason that happened is totally not Michael's fault. It's totally mine. So I accept responsibility for all of that. But here we are. We're back. Better than ever, baby. But yeah, let's get into some video game talk, Michael. That is what this is. This is a video game show.
It seems that between January and February of 2024 and right now, video games have come out, or we've been continuing to play video games over this hiatus.
It's almost like video games are back. No, video games have been coming out, and video games have been pretty good. Like this year in particular has been a really good year for video games. I've played some bangers this year, and last year had some good games too. But Michael, let's do like a top 5 kind of thing. Not necessarily a top 5, but let's talk about some games that we've played since the last time we graced the listeners with our presence. What's some video games you would want to talk about that you played in our
Uh,
good old holiday?
Last year I played in my first video game tournament.
Yes, you did. You played in a Tekken tournament.
I played Tekken 8 at a local tournament. I got my butt kicked. Turns out my first game that I played ever in a tournament setting was the one on the stream deck setup thing they had. So, yeah, I won a couple good rounds and I lost against a guy who would go on to be in the top 8 of the tournament. It didn't help that I did practice rounds before we had started against a guy and was winning all those practice rounds. Turns out he wasn't there for the tournament. He was there to show off his, like, oh, I fix up retro game consoles business. So I was like, oh, he's someone playing in the tournament? Oh, this is going to be smooth sailing. I got this. He wasn't even there for the tournament.
He's like, look at these chumps over here.
Very, very nice guy, but...
He was just there to advertise. He's like, listen, man, I'm not even good at video games. I'm good at soldering shit.
He had a modded Dreamcast over there that was playing DOA 2, so he had his priorities straight.
Yeah, I mean,
DOA 2 is a great game.
Oh no, I've forgotten how to speak into microphones. DOA 2 is a good video game. Have you heard they got a volleyball game coming out? It's pretty great. So other than some video game tournaments, what's some games that you've played? Like, tell our listeners, like, hey, what's Michael been playing in the hiatus?
What Michael's been playing in the hiatus? Final Fantasy VI. I played that entire game for the first time. Over Christmas, I got 3 copies of the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Collection because it turns out family members will just pick the first thing on your Christmas list and not scroll down. But
gotta use that Amazon feature that says, hey man, someone's already bought this thing.
Yeah, Google Docs do not work. No one deletes anything. Even if you have a note at the top that says, hey, please delete from the Google Doc, no one deletes from the Google Doc. So
I'm gonna let you listeners in on a secret. Michael is the most prepared Christmas list person in the world. Like, when people ask me, Eric, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, I don't know, man. Just, like, surprise me. Michael's over there being like, here's the Google Doc. Please delete what you purchased so it doesn't get repurchased by someone else. He provides like potential sales that might be going on. Man's very organized human being.
Here's the low point. If it preaches past this low point, this is a good time to
Why am I getting like text notifications on Michael's Christmas list being like, buy now, buy now?
Thank you for subscribing to Michael's Christmas list.
It's the
by subscribing to See It to Save, you too will be auto-subscribed to Michael's Christmas list. Watch out for those notifications.
Oh, if we could find a way to put our listeners on your Christmas list subscription.
But anyway, Final Fantasy VI, incredible video game, like from front to back. The story that they managed to pull off in a 16-bit RPG for the Super Nintendo is nothing short of mind-blowing. Like, I was telling you in like the Discord when I finished this, I was like, you're not going to play this game when we just talk about some of the story beats that happen. And there is like motifs and character arcs in this like Super Nintendo game using these pixels. I got emotionally teary-eyed when a song that was used as a background piece became this character's main theme, and it became the love theme for this character and like this relationship, and it was, excuse me, I'm so sorry. And it was beautiful. And that game was, I played that for like 2 months straight and absolutely loved every moment of it.
I feel like those games are, they're not my normal genre, but I respect the hell out of the art form that goes into them. And you think about like the emotional connection that it gave you for a game that came out in what, 1990?
96?
96?
Yeah, 96.
Yeah, like, I mean, that's impressive. Like, video games are, now we kind of take for granted that they can hit us in emotional ways. They can kind of touch us in, different ways than just the gameplay itself, right? It's an artistic form of expression that's kind of, we all agree that it's, capable of showing us different, emotions. But to go back to 1996 and be like, hey, we're going to have this kind of epic journey that's going to make you emotional, just using music cues and things like that. That's really impressive. And the fact that it holds up is impressive.
Also, being able to play it on the Pixel Remaster, it had features that cut down on grinding. I could set the XP rewards to 4 times the amount, as well as like turn off random encounters when I don't want random encounters and everything. So it just made returning to this old game like more approachable. It was more respectful of my time because of that, and because of that I could meet it on my terms. Is how I wanted to experience the game and everything. So
I feel like that. Like, listen, there is a argument to be made about playing a game on original hardware, but there's something about like a remaster, or a good remaster, or a good kind of re-release that allows you to experience the game in which it's like the tone you would have played it back then. Like you're almost able to engage with the game in a more like honest way without having to deal with all the kind of the bullshit that went along with it at the time, right?
Yeah.
So like I'm playing Hexen.
That just got remastered this week. Yeah, I was looking at that.
I'm playing some of that. It's a night dive joint, I believe. I know they walked on like a new expansion for it. But like if you go and boot up Hexen today, it's not going to play like that. But it allows you to play it in a way that's like more in line with how it would have felt back when you played it when it first came out. Does that make any sense at all?
Yeah, I'm following.
And that's something like Night Dive does just a great job with. That's a hell of a studio.
Everything Night Dive touches turns to gold. Like I played last year that remaster of that System Shock.
Yeah. I really wanted to like that. I played it for a good chunk of time, and I just don't think that game is 100% appealing to me, but I was very impressed with the quality of the remaster.
It's a game where you have to save scum. There's no getting around it. You have to have like 20 different saves, and good luck, basically.
Yeah.
It is...
Don't get in a bad situation where you just happen to take a bunch of damage and have no health on that floor or something like that.
And that seems like Night Dive likes to like spruce up a lot of these like old games, but it seems like for System Shock they didn't touch the core like hardcoreness of that game, which makes me like appreciate all the more. Like it's like, no, this is a game that you're not going to approach it on your terms. You're going to have to meet the games on its terms, and you are either going to like it or you're going to bounce off of it. And if it feels bad to say, but like force myself to get through that thing, but it's like you really have to in order to see the end. But it's very rewarding once you do see it all the way through.
I mean, there is an argument to be made that like some video games require a level of like dedication. Like I am going to finish this, despite the fact that I might not be having fun at like every point along the way. Like there are some video games that you are enjoying every step of the way. There's other ones where you have to put some work into it to fully like appreciate it.
FromSoft has made a career making games like that.
Listen, you play Elden Ring. Do you enjoy every moment of that? No, there's times when you're mad as hell because I keep getting hit by this damn boulder. But it's the satisfaction of when you do, make progression, or when you do figure that thing out that makes it worth it, right? And so, like, I think System Shock really plays off of that, where it's like, hey, when I do find my way up to the next floor, or I do make a serious progression in, like, clearing this area that's been kicking my ass, it's like, hey, I feel good about this now. I now feel like I've accomplished something.
Yeah.
What's something else that you played in our little break? I love also the fact with this being like a retro video game show, we're not like required to be timely on stuff. Exactly. Like even if we talked about Final Fantasy VI over a year ago, we still would have been talking about a game from 1996. So I'm just saying maybe we're not the people at fault. Maybe you people are the people at fault. But what's something else that you played?
Devil May Cry 3. I played that game for the first time this year. That game rules.
That game opens with you sliding on a dead demon, shooting people while holding pizza in your mouth, if I remember.
That is this game. The best cutscenes on the PS2 outside of a Metal Gear game. Holy cow. I was in love with this thing from beginning to end. After you beat like a succubus, you get a guitar that shoots bats.
I mean, in Devil May Cry 5, you get a motorcycle that is split into 2 parts that you hit people with, and then you put it together to ride the motorcycle.
Yep.
And you do that like mid-combo. So you're like hitting a dude with the back wheel, then you're hitting a dude with the front wheel, then you're putting them together, you ride over the dude with the motorcycle. Video games are fun, man. Video games are fun.
I need to play 5 eventually. I was still working my way through Devil May Cry 4. I kind of burnt out myself on that, playing 1, 2, 3, and 4 in like pretty quick succession. 2 is a terrible game. I beat it though. I beat both campaigns in Devil May Cry 2. Or Gun May Cry, as you might say, because the gun is just way overpowered. You can just stand in a corner and just shoot gun and then kill most of the enemies in that game.
I feel like that's a weird situation where like the game is bad because it's almost like too easy to cheese. Like everybody I talk to is like, well, I just shoot things. And I'm like, well, why you choose to engage with it like that? But I think that game just kind of forces you into that play style.
It does. Like it really does.
I've played some stuff in my hiatus.
Give me your games, Eric.
All right, cue the music, boys and girls, because we're lightning round in this thing. I played Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. That video game is amazing. I love Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. That game's awesome. Space Marine 2 came out.
Right.
Yeah. I was talking about how hyped that was, and then I disappeared from the podcasting world. But no, Space Marine 2 is amazing. I love that video game. People need to stop complaining about the fact that game didn't get like the live service treatment that they wanted, even though they've done a wonderful job of supporting that video game. There's a horde mode now that I've played recently. That's pretty cool. Doom: The Dark Ages. Everybody, like, listen, I replayed Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal right before this came out because I was so like hyped. And Doom 2016 is still my favorite, I think, which was weird because if you would have asked me before my big playthrough, I would have probably told you Doom Eternal was my favorite. But Doom 2016 is my favorite. But Doom: The Dark Ages is an amazing video game. Like, and they've just released a similar thing, like a combat horde mode now, where you can tweak the waves, so you can decide how many demons you're facing in each wave and what the breakdown is and the timeline.
Like a customizable horde mode type thing. Okay.
Like Forge from Halo, but in Doom. Like it's cool.
Okay, they kind of had that with like Snap Map, I think was what it was called in 2016, but this seems like a more focused version of that.
You want to know what's really weird? In my Doom 2016 playthrough before Doom: The Dark Ages, I found like 4 people who were playing Doom 2016 in the year 2025 online, and I played a bunch of multiplayer against them people. Like I played the entire Saturday afternoon of just playing Doom 2016 multiplayer with people.
Yeah.
That game really deserved more credit. Doom 2016 multiplayer, pretty badass.
It was so much fun. I did not understand the hate when it came out. I was like, this is awesome. What are you guys complaining about?
There's like weapons that are tied just to Doom 2016 multiplayer that are not in Doom 2016 single player, like grenade launchers and stuff. All that stuff's amazing. There's a mode in which you the top player becomes a demon, and so you have like one of your players on your team is a demon, and so the only way for the other team to become a demon is to kill the demon. So you're like fighting to protect your demon guy while they're trying to kill the demon, and if they kill it, they get to become a demon.
They had like a King of the Hill mode where the scoring range was on a track that would just like work its way around the arena. That was a lot of fun because it like encouraged everybody to like pile on the same moving spot. That
game is amazing. It is still my favorite of the trilogy, but Doom: The Dark Ages it's so good, man. It's so good.
That seems like one people have cooled off on since it came out. Like people are really hot on it for like a couple weeks, and then it seems like all the attention moved on to other stuff. I know, like, didn't it come out right before the 1-2 punch of Oblivion and then Clair Obscur?
Yeah, so Clair Obscur, which is the other game I want to talk about. Look at that, segues. We still got it.
Yeah.
But hold up a second before the segue. I need you to team me up in a second for that.
Okay.
No, but yeah, you're right. Oblivion kind of shadow dropped right around Doom, the Dark Ages, and then Expedition 33 dropped like the week or two before. Doom, the Dark Ages also weirdly got hit with this weird vibe where a lot of people were very down on it right from the get-go, because from an outsider's perspective, that game looks slower and easier. Now I think I played on Ultra Nightmare, I think is how I played through it.
Ultra Nightmare?
No, Nightmare. I played on what the horde equivalent is.
Okay. So
yeah.
One above Ultraviolent?
Yeah, one above Ultraviolent.
Okay.
That might be Nightmare. I forget. It's the horde equivalent in Doom. Like that game feels good. Like it feels fast in a more deliberate way. So coming off of playing through Doom Eternal is like being on speed. Like you are just constantly running for your life, and you're playing a weird game of matching. You're playing like a matching game.
Mm-hmm.
See this, use this. So if you have a pinky demon, I fight it this way. If you have a cacodemon, I switch to the grenade launcher and shoot a grenade into its mouth. If you have the Spider Mastermind, you fight this way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a if this, do this. Doom, the Dark Ages, is a lot more like pick a weapon set that you feel comfortable with and go from there.
Okay.
So, like, I didn't really have to switch weapons all the time and use the full arsenal in Doom, the Dark Ages. While in Doom Eternal, because of the way the demons are set up, you have no other choice but to do that. So there is like a vibe change there, but with things like the shield bash and the shield throw and all that stuff, that game still is pretty damn fast. And it doesn't have the glory kills traditionally like how Doom and Doom Eternal has.
Okay.
But they're still in there in this weird way. But there was like I heard the description that I heard from the lead designer was that they really were like impressed with know the scene in 300 when they're like there was like a slow motion scene in which they'll like it'll speed up for the impact on an enemy and then it'll slow back down and then speed up for the impact.
Is that just like Leonidas is just going to town, running through?
It's like the line breaks and he like goes into the breach and it's like it'll like speed up. And then when it hits, it'll slow down for a second, right?
I was a 13-year-old when I watched that movie, so that's burned into my brain.
That movie is... I'm a 34-year-old man. I still think that movie's cool.
What?
They were very, like, inspired by that kind of stuff. So there is, like, this motion of, like, using the melee weapons where, like, it'll slow down for the impact and then you'll go to this guy and hit him with, like, a mace or something. The game is fun. And I don't really quite understand the negative kickback on it. I think that with Eternal, you can only go so fast. Like what are we gonna do here? Like at this point, like you're becoming like a bullet hell game if you move past it.
At that point, it becomes Metal Hellsinger or something.
Yeah, or something like that. Which I tried to play that game. I didn't like it. But yeah, I really didn't get the negative hype. I felt like a lot of people's arguments on it was just like, it's not Doom Eternal. It's like, yeah, it's not. We both agree. You know, I don't know what to tell you. But the other one I do want to talk about is Expedition 33. That video game is amazing. I am not a turn-based combat guy. I don't really like those kind of games. But the way it incorporates things like parrying and blocking and not blocking, but like parrying and dodging and active like kind of like button kind of like a God of War style like quick time events into the attacks to power them up. The combat doesn't feel slow by any means. And it has one of the best stories in a video game that I've played since Mass Effect 2. Like, it has a cast that I feel is as strong as Mass Effect had. Or Baldur's Gate 3 or something like that. Like, it's that level of, like, I fell in love with the cast of that game. That much. Yeah, it's... That one's just a special thing for me. It's most likely my game of the year this year. Unless something sneaks up on me and takes it away. But I feel like that will probably be the game that sticks with me the longest after this year. It's great. And for the first game of that studio, that's a hell of a way to come out, man.
Coming out swinging.
That's coming out swinging. That's Stone Cold level breaking the glass, right out of the gate, man. That's hard to top.
And now they're going on tours to like different studios because they have interest in like a lot of their mechanics and everything that they were able to implement in this game. They were meeting with like Square Enix and just discussing ideas and everything too. So that's just really cool. It's like they are now a peer in the RPG space with a lot of these like heavyweights too, where they don't see them as a threat. They see them as like, you bringing something to the table. We're inspired by this game, and we want to use that moving forward in a world where like a lot of these big AAA RPGs just are, I don't want to say diminishing returns, but they're like
they fall flat. I mean,
some of them do. Some of them are really, really great. And my favorite game that I played in the hiatus I'll talk about is one of those big, gigantic RPGs. But
I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 is a masterpiece and is a gigantic, RPG that, I mean, it's one of the few RPGs that I've finished after like a long playthrough and almost instantly restarted another playthrough.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that like, hey, studios are saying, hey, we are impressed by your work. Let's bring you in here so we can get some information or figure out how you figure out some of your problems and this, that, and the other. Like, that's what I like. And I want to see more of that. And I feel like most game design studios would want that. But in a corporate, world, it's probably coming down to like, hey man, we can't let them come. EA is like, we can't let them come in here and tell us how to make video games. We do a good job. Have you checked out Dragon Age: The Veilguard?
I booted that up today actually, and I did not make it past the character creation screen. I was bummed out by the character creator.
I played it recently because did you try the trial mode by chance, or did you get the game?
It was a PS Plus game.
So on Game Pass it has the trial mode, right? You can play like for 5 hours. And I was like, I was bored one night. I got time on my hands now. And I was like, let's play some Dragon Age: The Veilguard. And I played to basically the end of the first section, like the first like prologue chapter.
Okay.
And that game is weird in tone. Like, I always talk about like, I like jokey, fun-loving characters as much as the next guy. But like, there needs to be like a understanding of like when that takes place. So there's like a lot of like lighthearted kind of jokey stuff going on in the beginning of that game while a city is being attacked by demons. So like, people are punching one-liners in as demons are like coming out and grabbing people off the side of like bridges and stuff. And they're like, oh, I can't believe that just happened. I'm like,
he's right behind me, isn't he?
And also, when did BioWare love the phrase, we got this?
Oh no, don't.
It's in the like that first chapter a couple of times. We're like, don't worry, we got this.
Having flashbacks to Andromeda. No.
They love that phrase. That's like, you feel like after the old compilations of how many times that's said in Mass Effect Andromeda that somebody would be like, we got to cut this from the script.
Oh my god.
But no, that game. I used to like Dragon Age, and that's all we'll say.
Dragon Age was always one that I try to get into every single game and just bounce off every single time. Origins came the closest. I played that for like 20 hours, and then I was just, I don't know.
Like, I was a diehard.
I could not. Dragon Age is impenetrable to me, and I have no idea why.
Each one is vastly different.
Yes.
Like, Dragon Age Origins is my favorite, but it's like a very classic CRPG, like, you know, kind of vibe. Dragon Age 2 is this, like, set in a single location, which is not as fun, but, like, if you kind of fully embrace the fact that you're, like, experiencing the city through this whole time, it kind of works, in my opinion. I actually don't mind it. And then Dragon Age Inquisition is, I think, really good. I actually like the cast in that. Like, you have, like, Freddie Prinze Jr. as the Iron Bull.
I get it. You want to ride the bull.
Yeah, it's a good line. It's a good line. But, like, that game, like there was a point in time where, like, BioWare was my favorite studio. And, we're not there no more, boys and girls.
I still believe Mass Effect could come back. I'm hoping. It's blind hope, blind optimism. One would call it foolish optimism, but
listen, nothing's wrong with wanting something to be good. I would rather live in a world in which I want things to be good than a world in which I want things to suck. But until I'm proven otherwise, I'm going to run off the assumption that I'm not.
That remaster was real good. All they did was just take an existing script and spruce it up. But
you're talking about the Mass Effect?
Yeah,
that thing's amazing.
Yeah, the Mass Effect Trilogy remaster was amazing.
Yeah, Legacy Edition. Yeah, that thing's great. But that was pretty much just like let's punch up some stuff. Like, Mass Effect 1 is the one that gets, like, the most of a facelift there. I played through that last year. I don't know if we were doing... Oh, I was on the show then. Yeah, I played through that, like, a big Mass Effect playthrough last year. It was great.
I also did that last year. Right around the time I broke my arm,
and got the metal arm.
And got the metal elbow.
I hope that over the next few episodes, we just drop little bitty hints of the horrible things that had happened to us. And, like, the listener was like, what the hell has been going on over there?
So, I was in recovery for about a week there, where all I could do was just sit on a couch and play games. So I wanted a comfort game. I went back to Mass Effect and just immersed myself in that world. Those characters, basically did everything I could possibly do in that game, and just hung out in Mass Effect because I was in an unfamiliar situation, and it was a nice comfort game to go back to and revisit those characters like I was revisiting old friends.
Last year, I also was in a weird spot, and I spent the year using games that I loved from my youth as like a way of coping with those problems.
I love that we turned to the same game.
Well, it was Mass Effect and Halo.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I did a playthrough of Mass Effect, which I loved, and then I did a timeline playthrough of Halo, where I started with Reach, then played Halo 1, played Halo 2 up to the end of Earth stuff, then switched over and played ODST, then switched back to Halo 2, finished Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 4, got to Halo 5 and said, oh wait, yeah, Halo 5, and skipped Halo 5 and played some Halo Infinite. But yeah, I mean, sometimes that's like a therapy session at that point, you know? You're just playing games to help cope with your life.
Therapy's expensive, games are free.
Well,
games are not free, but you know what I mean.
But dear listener, you should still go to therapy. My therapist like pops into the comments section and be like, you're still showing up on Tuesday. But no, listen, I think that's a completely valid thing. What was that last game you wanted to talk about before we ended this section?
My favorite game that I played, I keep an updated list of my top 100 games. So this
goes back to that organization thing.
Yes, ADHD or what have you. The best game I played since the hiatus that came out, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
You were very, very, very hyped. over Final Fantasy Rebirth. And I ain't gonna lie, it's coming to Xbox, so I need to play it when it comes.
The remake saga has been so good. Rebirth takes everything Remake did and dials it up to like 50. It is a huge, expansive... It is a road movie. It is a 70-hour road movie where you and your friends just go on an adventure. You're traveling. You have kind of a loose thread that you're following, and that's probably the least interesting part of the game, like the loose ties to keep you on the adventure. But it's always, hey, we're here in this space. What can we do here? And they always tie to like one of the characters. When you get to like where Barrett's from, that becomes like a personal growth journey for Barrett. Things that were stretched across the entirety of Final Fantasy VII. This is all the way up to the point near the end of the first disc of Final Fantasy VII. So we still got 2 discs to go in the next game.
Oh yeah, we got 2 more games.
Well, it's just gonna be they're gonna wrap it up in one
Can't
more.
do that.
Apparently,
Can't do that. It's against the law. You gotta have 2 more games, 1 per disc.
But I was just enthralled with the characters, and the amount of times that the game brought me to tears, especially at the end, is so good. Especially if you know what happens at the end of that disc, and there's a turn in it that people weren't happy with, but I love what they did. I love what they did with the ending of that thing because it still leaves some mystery and makes you realize that Cloud, our main character, is like, oh, he's not okay. Cloud is not okay at the end of this thing, and he's just living in his own little fantasy world here, and we're gonna have to come to terms with that in the next game. And when Cloud finally goes through his transformation of realizing who he truly is, that is going to be a big moment.
I think there was an argument to be made. I've said that so many times in this episode that this is almost not like a remake necessarily, as like a reimagining.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Because you've kind of walked me through some of the stuff that you kind of have seen, and like some of the stuff that's changed. And it doesn't qualify to me as like a remake. It is like a reimagining. And that's what I love. Like there's been like a floodgates of remasters and remakes and all this stuff, and like I'm not gonna argue that I don't like it. Like I feel weird when people are like, oh, they're just remaking everything. Like Metal Gear Solid Delta is coming out here shortly. I'm very excited about that. Like those games still exist, but there is no reason why we can't re-release something in a way that might expose it to a new audience. Like I love Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 is an amazing video game. You know what's also a really good video game? Resident Evil 4 remake. Evil 4. Yes. Yeah, like I mean that game is amazing too. Both of those things can be true. And so yeah, I'm not on the vibe of, hey, you know, I can't like this remake because I'm cool, you know. Nah, man. Sometimes it's cool to get to see your favorite game with a fresh coat of paint, you know. It's like, hey, man, it's cool. I am happy that games are in the spot that they are right now. I feel like we're in a good window. There's been a lot of big name games that have come out. There's been stuff that's came from left field. You know, platformers are back. You know, you got Astro Bot and Donkey Kong out here coming back.
Donkey Kong Bonanza is an incredibly awesome video game. I usually share spoilers with games to Eric that I think he would not play for a very long time. I'm keeping the end of that game lock and key.
Well, Donkey Kong is cool.
If I will one day lend you my Switch too.
Okay.
Just so you can play Donkey Kong and experience that thing, because that is just a video game in the best way.
Video games are arguably the best kind of video games.
Those are my favorite type of games.
And you know, like turn-based RPGs being back with Expedition 33, and like, hey man, video games, man, they're pretty cool. you know, play some video games.
Yeah.
Speaking of playing some video games, look at this high quality segue. Let's talk about the games that we're going to be playing and talking about on the next episode of State of the Save that we promise will come out.
Yes, at some point. So I was thinking about, we were both thinking about ways to like how we were going to bring the show back in a sustainable way. And I was thinking it'd be really cool if we did like a game exchange sort of thing. I give you a game, you give me a game that we play, something that might be outside of games that we would play on our own time, things that we want to experience. And the idea is we put as much time as we feel like we need to in these things in this span. Yes. So sometimes I'll play 2 or 3 hours to get the feel of this. If I win you a fighting game, you'll be like, you can play that for an hour and go, oh, I understand what I'm going to do here.
One of the reasons I think we burned out on the last version of this show was we really enjoy talking video games. We enjoy talking about the video games that we're playing. But there is like a weird thing that happens if you just get halfway through a game and not vibe with it. Because then it becomes work to finish it for the show. Mm-hmm. And guess what that does not make? Good quality content. And so I think with this, also it's a chance to take more risk.
Yes.
Where it's like Michael can be like, hey, play this thing. Because a lot of times Michael has turned me on to games that I did not think I was going to like and then end up loving. And then vice versa.
And that's the whole point of this. We can get right to the experience this thing. But if you don't vibe with it, you could just come back and say, this is why I don't like this thing.
Yeah.
And then you never have to touch it again.
I really like this format. I think it's going to be a lot more of a healthy show. Know what you can do, dear listener? You can tell us feedback about whether you like it or not.
But if you want to scream at us, go back to the old format. If there's enough of you, we'll take that into account, I guess.
It's going to need to be a lot of you.
Because that's a lot of work. Oh my god.
Oh my god, the old format was rough. But it was COVID. We had nothing but time. And then COVID went away. Well, it kind of went away. And so we all of a sudden realized that, oh no, we locked ourselves into a format that requires a lot of time. But no, Michael, what video game am I playing next week?
You are playing, in this particular time of your life, I think you need a game.
There's another one of those little hits at the bad things going on backstage.
I think you need a game where you chill out with the boys.
Chill out with the boys.
Hang out, go camping, make some good food. Just hang out. You need some good vibes. You need some good relaxing vibes. And this is a game that is sort of a black sheep in a very long-running series.
All right.
And because of that, I think you can come out to this experience as an outsider looking in. This was actually the first game in the series I beat, but now I'm a big fan of.
Okay, I'm excited.
Do you have any clue of what you're playing?
Am I playing a Final Fantasy game?
You are playing a Final Fantasy game.
Hey, look at that. I think I guessed. Is it the one in which everybody is on like a bachelor party weekend?
Yes, it is.
I fucking knew it. I am a genius.
Your game is, where did it go? It was in this bag.
Vamp very quick. This would be a time where we would read a ad sponsorship. Would you like to sponsor us here on State of the Save? Contact us today.
You are playing Final Fantasy 15.
Hell yes.
A game in which 4 friends go on a bachelor party weekend that all goes wrong and hijinks ensue. But ultimately it's a story about 4 friends, bros being bros, kings supporting kings, literally. Hanging out, making good food, hunting monsters, and then hijinks ensue.
This is my favorite suggestion you could have gave me. I'm so damn excited to play this.
That actually makes me happy. I was worried that, oh no, he's making me play an RPG.
No, I'm genuinely excited about this.
It's not a turn-based RPG. It is real-time combat. I played the first hour of it today to get a good vibe for it, and it's very weird, but it is. I think you will have a good time with it because you don't have to finish the whole thing. You could just hang out in the first area. You could just. I'm not just going to do side quests and hunt monsters. I'm not getting further the plot here.
This makes me so happy. I also love the fact that it is tailor-made for like the point in my life right now. Mike was like, "Eric could use some vibes."
I went for vibes more than anything with my pick here.
I'm excited. I am looking forward to playing Final Fantasy 15. I have looked at it before and been like, I might enjoy this game. because it does have a lot of like touchstones of things that I like in RPGs. I like cool characters just hanging out. My favorite part of RPGs is generally not the main quest line; it's the side stuff.
Yeah.
In Baldur's Gate, it's dealing with Shadowheart, being like, "Yeah, I'm secretly a part of a cult," or dealing with Will, being like, "Oh, I'm just dropping spoilers for Baldur's Gate." Or in Mass Effect, like the whole Mass Effect 3, the whole Citadel stuff, where it's like we're just having hijinks on the Citadel. I screwed up your favorite sushi place. What you gonna say? But that's usually my favorite part of RPGs, so this is very appealing to me. I'm excited. I will probably start playing this first of the week, and I will report back.
One thing, real quick, the graphics modes are weird.
Okay.
You're gonna pick one that says, when you go down, it's like at the bottom of the list of options. You want to pick one that says light. That will turn your game to 60 FPS.
Oh, okay. Light.
Lite. And what it does is it's light because it lowers the, I think it's a variable resolution or something, and it just kicks it to like one of the lower notches, but makes it, because we're on new hardware, it makes it run 60 FPS. That's what you'll do. The tutorial will look kind of rough, but once you're out in the open world, you won't notice a thing. You'll notice that smooth frame rate. And,
okay. I'm excited.
The world's a lot of fun because it is like if you take a medieval world and just what happens when technology, like 2,000 years pass in this medieval world, oh, now we have cars and cell phones and stuff.
It's just like, hey man, I guess I should call ye old tavern over here on my cell phone and tell them I'm coming down the road.
There's like diners and truck stops. It's fantastic vibe.
Excited.
I think you will. I really think genuinely you will end up liking this thing.
I'm excited. Time to tell you about my game, Michael.
Okay.
We're going back to the PlayStation 2, Michael.
Okay.
This is a game that for some reason I fell in love with as a kid. I don't know why. I don't even know how it ended up in my possession. I know I got it from a Blockbuster, but I was fairly not familiar with FPS games when I came across this game. And I famously borrowed it from Blockbuster twice, did not have a memory card to be able to save on, and kept getting to a spot in which there was a box I was supposed to jump on top of to get over a ledge, and I never used the jump button up to that point, so I just kept like running into the box thinking I screwed up. And it took me 2 Blockbuster rentals to figure out that I was supposed to jump on that box. But I had only played FPS games like Doom and stuff, so I hadn't played a bunch of FPS games that had jump buttons. This is also a game linked to one of your favorite franchises.
I know what game this is.
Yeah, you probably do. Have you played this game?
I have not played this game.
Okay. So, Michael, would you like to guess what this game is?
Is it Project Snowblind?
It is Project Snowblind.
When you said PS2, I'm like, because that was one you would, over like a month-long span, bring like, we should play Project Snowblind sometime.
Yes. Project Snowblind. We've talked about this before. I think we even pitched this idea for the original version of this show.
We did, yes.
And it just never happened. But Project Snowblind, I do have the original disc, is over there on the shelf. If it didn't involve me having to leave you over here to vamp a bunch while I went to go get it, I too would bring up my copy. But it is linked to the Deus Ex franchise.
It was going to be a Deus Ex spinoff, right?
Yes. And it has a lot of the same, the vibes. The vibes are very
aesthetic.
Yeah, it's cyberpunk. You play as a character who is injured and gets hooked up with a bunch of cybernetics and has crazy powers like shooting lightning and slowing time down and seeing through walls. It has tons of stuff that I really like in first-person shooters, where like alternate fire modes and weird grenades.
Okay.
Like you want to throw a grenade that turns into a little spider bot and shoots people, or a gas grenade and make people sick. It's a cool ass video game. And it came out like the same month as Halo 2.
Oh no.
I remember this because I was super into Project Snowblind, and I remember getting my EGM copy for the week or the month, and like there was the Halo 2 review in there, right? And then there was like a half a page review on Project Snowblind. I think it got like 7.5 and like decent scores. By the way, I have reacquired that EGM copy and read that review 2 weeks ago. So, like, that's been my other thing I've been doing since the podcast stopped. I've been reacquiring copies of EGM from the year 2004 and 5 and 6 and stuff like that. But yeah, it was. It came out at the worst possible time. It was a PlayStation and Xbox game, so if you had an Xbox, why would you buy Project Snowblind 2 when you could be buying Halo 2? But I think that game's amazing. I think you're gonna have a good time with it. You're not like a diehard FPS fan, kind of like I am, but I think that this game has so much weird mechanics to it. I think you will enjoy it.
I've found myself going to, in this time, back to the PlayStation 2B game. Like, over the time, I beat Dirge of Cerberus, which is a third-person shooter for the PS2, which is just not a good game on any metric level, but I had a blast with.
So, segueing into this little conversation about, like, old video game magazines, there was so many B-game releases each month, looking through these old EGM copies, that I remember so fondly. And now I have two theories on this. One, I was a preteen, didn't have a ton of money, and only played the games I got my hands on. And sometimes that was not the big hits, that was the B games, so therefore I fell in love with the B games.
Yeah.
The other theory that I have is that at the time, because of like development costs and things like that being lower, you had a lot more incentive to release weird ass video games. And a lot of those weird ass games, when they hit, really hit.
Oh, they do. They hit.
Like, I mean, I look back on that era fondly. And I think that we still had that going into like the Xbox 360, where like there was a lot of weird games on there too that I remember. Like we played Vanquished. We played Vanquished, like the game that has a smoke button. We played, I think there's episodes on this feed where you can go back and listen to us talk about those games. But yeah, like I really have a soft spot for games like Project Snowblind, for games like Vanquished, for games like weird, offshoot games of main franchises, like, Resident Evil having like Outbreak and stuff like that.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like there was it was a different time, man. It was a different time and it's a different place. And
you had a lot of those on like portable systems like Metal Gear Acid and all that stuff.
I want to play Metal Gear Acid. I have not played that before. I have like almost acquired a copy a couple of times. Like on eBay, there's been some that are like really good pricing. Mm-hmm. But like a lot of times they're not in box, and if I want one in box. But like Metal Gear had Metal Gear Portable Ops. That's a good game. You had like God of War Ascension, which was a PSP version of God of War. Like Killzone Liberation, which was a top-down shooter on the PSP for Killzone. Yeah, like dude, man, games used to be cool. Old man yells at cloud.
We were talking video games are back and video games are cool, and then we're like, video games used to be cool.
We used to be
cool. I mean, both can be true. Video games can be great, but they're a different kind of great than they were.
Video games now are like the girl you take home to your mama. Video games in the early 2000s was the girl you didn't take home to your mama, but you still think about fondly today. No, like, yeah, I think Project Snowblind is going to be cool. What's your thoughts on Project Snowblind? Are you excited?
I am very excited to play this thing.
This is a game that I played through probably like 6 or 7 times.
Oh, hell yeah, let's go.
There was a time in my life where I just like kept playing through Project Snowblind because that was like one of the games I had.
There's a non-zero chance I finish this game before we convene again.
I don't think it's very long.
Okay.
I don't think it's very long. And I think that you will enjoy it from like the Deus Ex point of view because it does have a lot of that vibe in it. So I think that you would like it.
Is it linear or is it there are a lot of openness to
No,
it.
that is linear. There is some like missions where you're like tasked with stealth options. Like you could stealth through a mission, or you could fight your way through.
Okay.
It weirdly has like a Black Hawk Down vibe to it.
Okay.
So like, know how like Black Hawk Down, which also had a really cool video game on the PlayStation 2. Know how like that movie and like the real life of it. I know it's a real life event. Don't come at me in the comments. But that game, like that movie has that, vibe of everything being surrounded and trying to fight your way out of a city that's all turned against you. Project Snowblind is oddly like that in a cyberpunk sense.
Okay.
It is a cyberpunk story about Black Hawk Down.
Sold. All right, let's go.
Like it's great. It's not bad. I feel irritable that people don't appreciate the greatness of Project Snowblind.
I need to hook up the old PS2 again, but I know exactly where it is.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool video game.
I'm very excited.
Thank
you for the pick, Eric. I'm looking forward to playing this.
Also, I think this is the only way to force you to play Project Snowblind. But no, I was looking at some PS2 games. You almost played the Incredible Hulk game on the PlayStation 2.
Oh, that would have been a good companion to Donkey Kong that I just
That's
played.
a good game as well.
Yeah.
Except there's a lot of like stealth sections in which you have to play as like Banner, and that is not fun.
Oh no.
Because no one wants to walk around. Like you have to like be like in the disguise, and it's got the old PlayStation 2 mechanic of if you stand close to somebody, they can see through your disguise.
Oh goody.
So you like have to walk around bases slowly, not getting close to people. It sucked. But when you were the Hulk, pretty cool. You got to throw dudes out. There's like the opening mission on that is just a fight at a gas station, and it's just like you at the gas station beating up the army, and like the army sending like tanks and helicopters, and eventually you blow up the entire gas station, and then the game's like, I guess that's the prologue. And it's like, well, that was the coolest mission in this game.
Oh man.
So you almost played the Incredible Hulk game that came out.
There is a conversation about games that peak at the first level.
That's arguably a game that peaks at the first level. I even like that game, but it does peak at the first level. Like that's hard to come back from. Gas station fight with the entire U.S. Army.
Sonic Adventure 2, another game that peaks at the first level.
Just because it has like a ska song in it.
Yeah.
That Goldfinger.
I like
player.
that your opinion of Sonic Adventure 2 gets lower and lower every time we talk about it. You went like, this game's not bad this game's bad, but the first level is good. And now you're like, the first level, all it has is a song.
When you guys made me play that fucking game, there goes the explicit tag. We were trying to avoid that this time, but
Were we?
I don't think it's even possible, because eventually let's just go ahead and assume that's never going to happen.
Fair point.
I gave it the 5 minutes that's required for advertising. And if you would like to advertise on State of the Save, hit us up. But no, Michael, let's take it home.
All right.
Michael, we are still on social media, I believe. We are on Blue Sky, right?
We're on Blue Sky now.
We're on Blue Sky. We just
because that happened while we were gone.
Yeah. We all fled X. Because unless you're there for the titties, there ain't much reason to hang around X. Michael, that joke's getting cut. But Blue Sky, we're on Blue Sky, so we just got that. I just got a Blue Sky account. You should go on there and follow us on Blue Sky so we can get people on there. We're on TikTok still.
Instagram?
Are we on Instagram still?
We are on Instagram still. Instagram. I might need to see if the account still works. Same with I have a list of logins somewhere. Man, I need to find.
Man, it's almost like we took a 2-year break from this show.
Will I be able to even upload this thing? Who knows? We're just going to play it by ear and see.
It might be like a new feed. If you follow this under State of the Save 2.0, it's just because we couldn't get into the old feed.
Anchor doesn't exist anymore. Is now like Spotify for podcasters, and now I think it's just called Spotify for creators. So, will my login work? I have no clue.
There's a very good chance that this show is like under a completely different feed.
Who knows?
Wouldn't it be funny, like, if you come across you see the one episode that we have, and here we are referencing a back catalog of like over 100 episodes
with the same art and everything, because we're not changing that.
Yeah,
the art's cool.
That art's cool. We got a Triceratops, okay? Like, you want to talk about a Triceratops? I'll talk about a Triceratops video game, man, any day of the week.
Our branding is dinosaurs now, whether we like it or not. So at some point, I'm gonna have to make you play Dino Crisis as a result.
I will play Dino Crisis because I like dinosaurs. Check us out on all those places.
Stateofthesave@gmail.com.
Stateofthesave@gmail.com. We think that still works. But, send us emails. Say, hey, man, we are glad your show's back. Or say, hey, man, go back to the way it was. Or go, hey, man, I'm just here for the engagement. All of those are valid things. You send us an email, I probably will remember to read it on the show. What will more likely happen is Mike will be like, don't forget the email. And then I'll be like, oh, yeah, the email. And then I'll read it. It's good to be back, Michael.
It's good to be back, Eric.
It feels good. Stay safe out there. I think that was my.
That was my
log out. Yeah.
That was your in tag. Look at that.
Should I keep the same in tag?
Things are rough out there.
Things are rough, boys. Oh my God, that's my new favorite bit. Is just stay around for us dropping little hits about lore on Eric and Michael's life. But stay safe out there. We'll see you on the inside.